guys, welcome to 4K channel. Today I'm bringing you this amazing banknote. This is a $5 national currency or national banknote issued in 1864 by a bank in New York. And this is part of the first charter period. The first charter period national banknotes were issued over 2 years from 1863 till 1882. And they were subdivided into two series. The original series, what we have here, and the series of 1875. Now, they differ by the fact that the original series prior to 1875, there was no charter number, bank charter number printed on the banknote, which became an issue since there were so many charter banks issuing banknotes, and it became quite difficult to sort through these notes by the people working in Department of Treasury when these banknotes, these national banknotes, were redeemed. So eventually, by the National Currency Act of 1874, the next series, called a series of 1875, would chart a number vertically and horizontally on the face of the note. Obviously, that's not the case for this original series. The charter number for this New York bank was 376. And it's missing from this note. The other difference between this original series versus the series of 1875 has to do with the look of the red Treasury seal. If you look at the edges of the Treasury seal, you see this very spiked rays, but this seal was modified for the series 1875 notes, where the seal would now have more scalloped. So those are the two main differences. In terms of the price, I think both original series and series of 1875 have similar premiums. Now, this particular banknote, I have been looking for a very long time. I think this design with all the details in terms of vignettes and all this stylized typography, all the text, it's kind of jam-packed into this note. And even in this chaos, text and vignettes, there is this beautiful harmony, and I absolutely adore all the details, and there's a lot of details here. So let's hash through some of these details. We're gonna start first with so up here we have a more standardized text, national currency. This note is secured by bonds of United States deposited with the U.S. Treasurer at Washington. So this is the standardized text that was printed on all notes. And then underneath it, we have more customized text for the issuing national bank. Here we have Central National Bank of the City of New York as the issuing bank. Now, New York, during the first charter period, had the most national banks issuing banknotes, and this particular bank issued a lot of national banknotes. So this is not a rare bank by any stretch of imagination. And But when I was looking to buy or purchase this particular banknote, I came through a lot of information on it, saying that these banknotes are not rare. But I must say, in all my hunting, these banknotes may not be rare, but it is extremely rare to find these in any decent condition without tears, folds, you name it, stains, just obscuring the design and, the details. So this banknote, even though not rare in terms of number of banknotes issued, is quite hard, quite difficult to find in a good condition for a reasonable price. Now, if you have deep pockets, I'm sure you can find much better high grade notes as long as you're willing to spend a lot of money. Any case, back to the note. On the bottom here, we have the city, New York, New York, and April 15, 1864. This is the date that this particular bank was chartered. Now, a little bit more about this particular, this bank was operating from 1864 till 1904. So they were in business for approximately 41 years, and by one account, they printed approximately 30,000 sheets of this particular $5 denomination. And each sheet has 4 notes. And you can tell you have the letter code here, D. So the top note would be A, then B, C, D. So this would be the most bottom note on that sheet. So another way to tell that this bank was issuing a lot of banknotes is the fact you can look at the serial number. We have 2 serial numbers in red. This on top here with a letter prefix is the serial number for the U.S. Department of Treasury, and it always has a or something at the end to close out the number so no additional numbers can be added. It's a security feature. So this is the Treasury Department serial number, and this is basically a running total of all the national banknotes being issued at this time. And then bottom here, on the bottom right here, we have a serial number 16438. It's kind of hard to see since part of the serial number overlaps the vignette and the signature, and it almost looks like it's faded or not printed properly. But if I zoom it up, you can see that serial number is, completely there. So this is serial number for the bank. So this particular bank note is the 16,438 banknote. So just by this large serial number, you kind of get a sense of how many banknotes were being by this particular bank. So other than all this text here, we have 4 sets of signatures. In the middle here, we have printed signatures of the Register of Treasury and the Treasurer of the United States. So this is Chittenden, the Register, and this infamous Spinner signature as the Treasurer of the United States. So these 2 signatures are from the Treasury Department, and they were printed, not hand signed. These were printed on the banknote at the time of printing. And by the way, this banknote was printed by the Continental Banknote Company in New York. Now, we're aware of American Banknote Company, but this was their rival, Continental Banknote Company. And I think eventually they would merge with the American Banknote Company. All right, so let's talk about the other 2 signatures. See, these other 2 signatures on the bottom are the officials of this particular bank. We have the cashier signature on the right and the president's signature on the left. And this one is C.J. Coles, and this is Wheelock. So these are just bank officials. Once the banknote is printed, they then sit down and sign all these notes, hand sign all of these notes in that sheet. And then those sheets are, hand cut, so that you can then have individual banknotes. And then these are put into circulation. So now let's examine all the other details, the vignettes on the face of the note. So there's lots going on. So let's look at this carefully. On the right here, we have this beautiful vignette, and it's titled Christopher Columbus in Sight of Land.
In this vignette, explorer Christopher Columbus aboard his ship, Santa Maria, points to the land in the distant horizon with excitement and anticipation during his 1492 voyage from Spain across the Atlantic Ocean. His crew appear thankful and relieved.
Okay, on the opposite side, on the left side here, we have another vignette, and this one is titled Presentation of Indian Princess, which represents America, to the Old World.
In this vignette, Indian Princess in her native clothing represents the newly discovered America and is being presented proudly to the Old World.
Now let's take a look at the back of the note. A lot of banknotes, the front design is absolutely stunning, and then when you turn it over, the back design is almost as if it was completely neglected. No time or effort were spent on it. Beautiful US currency, once you turn it over, this old US currency, once you turn it over, it's a little bit disappointing that the design on the back is more or less just, stylized lines and patterns with the numeral denomination, and nothing much That's not the case here, and for that reason, this particular banknote is certainly deserves to be one of the top 10 banknotes, not number 29.
Based on the ranking of the 100 greatest American currency by authors Bowers and Sundman, this banknote is number 29th on this list, but it deserves to be much higher up this list, possibly even top 10 in our opinion. What do you think?
Anyways, let's look at the design. So on either side we have these oval seals. This is the original state seal of New York. Now, if you look it up, it's hard to find this exact seal online because this was the original seal and it has been since modified.
This is the state seal of New York with Lady Liberty and Lady Justice flanking the coat of arms of New York with their eagle on the top.
On the modified state seal, the position of these two ladies has been switched, but overall design is kind of similar. In the center we have a shield, and on top we have a spread eagle. So this is the state seal of New York. So this state seal would be different on a different note if it was issued by a bank in a different state. So this is a customization. On the left here we have the national seal of United States. We have an eagle holding arrows and olive branches in its talons, sitting on a Union shield. And in the center here, this stunning artwork is basically a vignette landing of Christopher Columbus.
This vignette is based upon painting by John Vanderlyn, which is located in the rotunda of U.S. Capitol Building in Washington, D.C. Columbus landed on Walting Island in Bahamas with crew celebrating, while natives lurk in the background rightfully weary of these strangers.
And all around this vignette, we have this stylized text, legal text, on either side, on top and bottom. And then we have this border of 5 denomination, very ornate. So guys, this is my third video on national currency, and these are really fun to collect. I got started kind of late in this game, so the prices of some of these national currency is through the roof, and so I don't plan to do a big collection. I am personally collecting banknotes that I can find in the best possible condition with a reasonable price tag. So I'm not collecting cities or states based on where I live or where I have been to, but more or less getting my hands on a beautiful example of a old banknote, all the folds and tears, so I can really appreciate, the natural beauty of these banknotes. And, if you're watching this video, I thank you for watching till the end, and do send me a comment. Let me know what do you think about this banknote. If you've never seen this banknote, I hope you can appreciate the beauty of the banknote. And if you are a seasoned collector, I would like to get your opinion. I think this is for me the best old U.S. banknote in my collection, and my collection is pretty small, so that's not saying much, but I feel that this particular banknote is amazing, and if you can get your hands on one of this, definitely do so before it becomes unreasonable to even own one of these. There are a few out there I've seen on eBay that are not too bad of a price. I'm sure if you negotiate, can come to some decent price. Anyways, guys, as always, thank you so much for watching, and keep collecting.
Do hit the like button and comment if you liked this video.